And the environment issue, I got to know Al Gore when he was vice president, and at his request, I attended a conference at Columbia University, probably 12 or 13 years ago, and I was the only municipal official invited to that conference, and it was one of the early Clinton administration-sponsored conferences, academic conferences on climate change. And then from that day forward, we just started working on the issue. And you know, much of the low-hanging fruit that could be picked off, we've picked off. So it's really around energy, changing how we use energy and using energy much more productivity, with much greater productivity. And so we've done things that have allowed us to, you know, take tens of thousands of tons of carbon particulate out of the air. We're since 1998 on city structures, we're using 19% less electricity, which is pretty good. You know, and that goes from, we have 5,271 computers in the city, between the city government and the educational system, and they're all on a system that turns them off after a period of time of non-use or after a certain hour. And of course you can log back on, but you know, in most cities and educational systems across the country, you know, the computer's on, it stays on, unless somebody turns it off, and no one's going around turning off 5,000 computers in a day. Time again, we have 13.5 acres of covered roofs, you know, green roofs, not painted. Somebody asked me the other day, what did I mean? The guy thought I meant painted a roof green. No, we grow things on the roof. We have a school that will be half the school will have a green roof. We have $2 million worth of solar installations. We've proven a technology of kind of a biomass conversion, gasification of biomass with dried pelletized effluent. We can generate from our sewage treatment plant. We can generate energy, and we want to build a one of three pod. First would be 5 megawatt power generating facility that would gasify with almost no carbon output at all. That effluent. We're moving in the direction of putting the 10-story office building, which is our government center, on fuel cell technology. We championed, Stanford did, the ability to create microgrids within the system, so that if we can string together small energy producers by on-site production or fuel cell technology or any other way, that we could sell within the microgrid to one another, or transport the electricity, the power to one another within the grid. That possibility didn't exist 4 years ago in Connecticut. It now exists. We don't have one up and running, but I hope to have it up and running by November 30th. We were the first city, one of the first cities in the nation to have and I think the first small city, you know, under 200,000 people, to have a member of our engineering bureau who's specifically devoted to energy and climate change issues, and which is one of the reasons that we, you know, picked up a lot of this low-hanging fruit. So those, you know, so Clean Air, Cool Planet 3 years ago gave us the only award that went to a municipal government in the country, and you know, I think we're doing the things that a state should do. And yet we have a governor who, looking to balance the budget, has actually rated the monies that are set aside for these kinds of projects to be undertaken, money that ratepayers have actually paid, so that funds would be available to pay for, you know, universities or single-family homeowners to undertake energy conservation projects. So they're rating that money as we speak.